Hey guys and gals, what is going on? It is I, the Monster. Today, we're going to discuss the brand new Godzilla film that just recently came out. When this was first announced, I was a little hesitant as to how it was going to unfold, but once they announced who was directing the film and who was in it and how they were going about it, I got very excited and I was very happy. One thing I always talk about here and there in these videos that I make is that I'm a massive Godzilla fan. It's one of, if not my first love, of anything of these pop culture things that I've gotten into over the years, and I never get to talk about it enough. Now that this movie's out, I can finally discuss Godzilla, and I'll probably use this as an opening point towards making other Godzilla films. Films. That'd be cool though, like me making a Godzilla film. Anyways, so, let's talk about this movie. This movie is directed by Gareth Edwards, who did the 2010 movie Monsters. It's a very good, low-budgety, monster, romance-y kind of film. I don't mean the monsters actually make out and shit. I mean it's about two people and there's monsters in it. But when you watch the film, you can tell that this guy was almost destined to make a film like Godzilla, and you could see the passion that he has for the kaiju and the Japanese monster genre thing going on. This Godzilla is basically, in one sentence, much better than the shitty 1998 TriStar Godzilla film with Matthew Broderick and that Puff Daddy song with the dude from Led Zeppelin and the Come With Me and all this, Hank Azaria and all this other bullshit. Much better in this film. This is much more like the Toho films. As a matter of fact, I'm almost positive they worked with Toho in some regards as to designing Godzilla, because they wanted this Godzilla to look like something that would have came out of their books, their ideas, I suppose. And let me tell you something, when you see Godzilla on the screen, shit's about to get real, and he looks amazing, he looks real, he doesn't look too much like a guy in a suit. There's some kind of aesthetic that makes him sort of look like it, but at the same time it doesn't, and it's amazing. I don't know how they did it. A really good CGI. Now, one of the biggest complaints about this movie was that a lot of people were debating whether or not he was too big and too fat and whatever. Well, when you're a giant freaking lizard taking on bigger monsters and things like that in a giant city, I don't really understand the differences in weights when you're so colossal. You're bigger than buildings. And I don't think he looked fat or anything like that at all. I thought he looked great. I thought that was how he should look. This is probably the biggest Godzilla they've ever made in any of these films, and it's nuts how big he is. I couldn't believe how big he was. It was overwhelming, but I understood it. The story, in my opinion, is not a bad story at all. I think that the humans are a little bland, a little vanilla. However, I don't think that they're the most boring things ever like some people are making it out to be. If you are a big Godzilla fan, you know a couple of different things here about these films. You know that without the humans, you don't really have a driving plot other than the monsters fighting. And not all the humans are interesting. Not all the stories are that amazing. And more importantly, Godzilla does not show up for long periods of time in every film. Some of them I know he's been in for 20 minutes, but some of the other ones not really. It's all build-up. This is very much a build-up film. If you're going into this movie thinking Godzilla is going to show up every 5 seconds and start shit and that's it, you will be vastly mistaken. This is a build-up film. A lot of people are comparing it to Jaws and stuff like that, and I understand why. But the payoff is so damn great that you can't help but lose your shit in the theaters when you watch it. Now, back to the humans for a second. I don't remember characters' names particularly well, so I may use actors' names and actresses' names, so don't get all confused with me here, okay? Basically, Bryan Cranston plays this engineer who lives in Japan with his family, and him and his wife work at this power plant. And something goes wrong, and his wife has to go down and check something. There's these weird electrical magnetical pulses. There's this weird wave stuff going on, and basically he has to close the door on her because there's a gas leak, and she dies. And then they have to evacuate in the power plant, and the whole area just goes fucking crazy. And that's kind of the start of the movie. And you get to see a young version of Aaron Taylor Johnson's character, Ford. Is 15 years later, basically, and he's living in America. He's a lieutenant in the Army. He's got a wife who's played by Elizabeth Olsen, and a little creepy boy who barely talks the whole movie that you just think is going to grow up to be a serial killer. And his father is trying to basically solve this riddle, what the hell was going on, why there's a conspiracy, behind it, the cover-up. He basically wants to redeem the fact that he feels responsible for killing the mom. And so Ford basically has to go over to Japan, and that's how he gets involved with this whole ordeal with all the stuff going on in this film. First thing I want to discuss here, I don't want to be rude and come off like intolerant of other people's choices in life, but I feel like he just looks so damn young to have a wife and kids. I mean, the wife thing I can understand, but the kid, he just looks like, the guy very much looks like, to me, like a kid at times. He's not, I think he's younger than me, actually. So, no disrespect to the young parents out there, do your thing. I just think it's a little funny at times, no offense. But the other thing is you just don't give a shit about his wife and kids that much. You care more about the father and what he was going through and what he was studying. Unfortunately, there's some stuff that goes on in this film that kind of derails that, and that's where the story kind of folds a little bit. Basically, they find out that the power plant, their home, everything is being locked in, and there was a bunch of lies surrounding it, and there's these tests being done with I guess electrical or like radiation or something that's bringing up this almost like this core or something. And in the beginning of the film, there's like a mining sequence where you see them drilling, and they destroyed one of them, but they found another one of the same type of kind of like core looking things. Anyways, make a long story short, they bring this thing back to life unknowingly, which was really stupid on their part, and out comes these creatures that eventually do meet up, and they feed off of radiation, and they cause EMP waves, whatever, to basically stop all the electrical things around. So that's like what explains the planes falling in the trailer and such like that. Basically, they try to mate and have a bunch of babies is kind of the general thing. They're called M.U.T.Os. It's like mystery something organisms or something like that. I don't know their names. They should have had real names, but they look great. They almost look like granite monsters, like stone, and they have like these red eyes, and they're all black, and they're just really evil looking. Like one of them's more ground-based with arms, and one of them's more land-based with wings. And really, the whole thing is that the army's trying to stop them, and it's not working, and Ken Watanabe, his character is kind of the one that was involved with this figuring out what was in these core or these pod things, and he just looks confused the entire film. Like, this is his face, the whole film, and I'm just like, Ken, what are you so confused about? You just unleashed a giant fucking monster, you just saw a giant lizard, what are you so confused about the whole damn movie? It's really annoying. He's a great actor, but his face, he just looks confused the whole time. Now, the funny thing is that the Army, usually in most of these films, they don't really do much until, unless they get involved with the Godzilla stuff, which we're not going to talk about. But they can't do anything. Ken, with whatever, is like, yo, listen, 1954, this shit went off, the bombs went off, and something came out of that water, and it was a prehistoric lizard or something, and Godzilla was born. Let him fight them. Let him fight the monsters, because he's the protector of Earth. And actually, it's like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? But, it's cheesy, but it's like the perfect kind of cheese that I want in my Godzilla film, that they're like, no, you gotta let them fight it out, yo. Like, evacuate everybody, let's get this shit going. And, I'm gonna tell you, the fights deliver. The M.U.T.Os are really pretty vicious. They double team him. You get to see Godzilla actually struggle a little bit. He gets tired. But when you see the atomic ray charge up, it is like the most satisfying thing. It's just like, I don't know, and like just the fights are so great. They're really enjoyable. But also what I really like about this film is they didn't picture Godzilla as a villain. There's a lot of movies where Godzilla is initially a villain, and it gets kind of annoying after a while because you're really watching it to see him fight something. You know what I mean? And in this movie, he's a anti-hero. You know, if you get in his way, he will fuck your shit up because he's a giant lizard and you don't give a shit. But if you get out of his way and let him do what he's got to do, he's completely respectable. You know, you see him swimming in the ocean next to, I believe, the Navy, and it's just like, you know, he's not gonna kill them, but he's so big that he might. I mean, that's the thing. But it's great. You know, you're really compelled to see him fight these guys, and it's a lot of fun to watch, and just how the story unfolds is pretty good. I enjoyed it. You know, the only thing, again, is a particular character dies that has too much information regarding the story, and Ford, Aaron Taylor Johnson's character, has to pick up the pieces, and it's kind of like he doesn't even know what the hell's going on. And again, you don't care about the family. There's just one random scene where he helps out this little boy, and that was kind of pointless because he runs back to his family, and his family doesn't even thank him, and he almost gets killed on the train. It's a long thing. You know, but the movie's awesome. Godzilla does fight stuff, and I'm not going to spoil anything else. It is fucking great. You need to go see it. I think he did a great job. There's a lot of Easter eggs. I heard they announced a sequel. If they do Mothra or Rodan, somebody could fly, just please pick up Godzilla because the M.U.T.Os couldn't do it. And that would be exciting as hell. That would be worth the ticket price alone to just see that big of a Godzilla get dropped down. And yeah, I mean, that's really it. I'm really excited to see what they do now. This is great. This is successful, and I really enjoyed it, and I liked it. You know, it didn't have to be a perfect film. It just had to be a lot better than that shitty '98 movie. And you know, it had to obtain it's not just like monsters fighting. There's a whole atmospherical thing to it. You know, like when you see Godzilla in this film, there's dark clouds and shit like that. There's debris. You know, you really know, like, this guy is the king of the monsters, and he is definitely back. So go see Godzilla. It was fantastic. I didn't get no damn poster in my IMAX screening. That was some bullshit. Freaking day one IMAX, I didn't get no poster. They lied to me. Any case, guys and gals, go see it. Enjoy it. Take care, peace. And if you want me to do like a top 10 Godzilla film list of sorts or something like that, please leave a comment and let me know if you do, if that interests you at all. And that's it. So yeah, bye.